Okay, we are live and we are ready to rock and roll. Welcome to Coffee Chat here with me every week at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Thursdays here. Today we are talking about autoimmune disease and exercise as it being a balancing act. It is. Autoimmune diseases, y'all, they're fun, aren't they? They are so much fun. And I say that excitingly and sarcastically all at the same time, as you guys all know. Although many autoimmune disease symptoms can vary based on the tissue the immune system is attacking, right? You've got thyroid for Hashimoto's, you've got the adrenals for Addison's disease, you've got connective tissue disorder, you've got fibromyalgia, I can never say that one, I'm sorry. You've got lupus, you've got all those different ones, right? And so most people with autoimmunity struggle with bouts of fatigue. Raise your hands, y'all, with me. Bouts of fatigue. We have energy crashes. We have brain fog. We have inflammation. We have pain. If not one of those each day or all of those, sometimes it's exhausting. And then you got those symptoms and you're like, yeah, hey, let's exercise. And you're like, no, let's not. So if those recurring symptoms of brain fog and pain and fatigue and all those things and inflammation have, told you, hey, let's not do an exercise routine, I want you to take heart, okay? This is what we're gonna be talking about today is regular exercise can actually be the most effective way to manage your autoimmune condition outside of nutrition, okay? We always talk about nutrition first. Second is definitely daily movement, and that looks different for everyone. You just need to heed, right, to your body's fluctuating needs and tolerance levels. The cool thing about having autoimmune diseases is we have to listen to our body even more than people who don't have those conditions. So I want you to give yourself grace. I want you guys to be like, wow, that's amazing. I've been given a gift, okay? And I know many of you don't see it as gift because you're in pain and you're tired and whatnot too. I didn't for a long time. But I want you to know that those of you with your autoimmune conditions, you're like, whoa, Vennessa, I'm not adding an exercise. I'm too tired. I'm in too much pain. But I challenge you. I want you to keep listening in because this is really an important episode, okay? So for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Vennessa McConkey. I am owner, CEO, founder of Vennessa McConkey Coaching, but I am a wife and mom first, okay? Second, I'm a certified functional nutrition medicine nutritionist, ACE certified rehabilitation specialist, leggings fanatic. I've got every color and I love them. I live in them. I think a lot of you do these days, right? And a lover of all things that challenge me, especially things that are connected to data and research. That is me. I'm here to educate and empower you to take control of these in-between moments, all right? The ones that the doctors can't and really shouldn't help you with, right? The fatigue, the pain, the brain fog, all those things, because I want you to live a vibrant life with your chronic illnesses and diseases. Yes, I said that with. If you haven't been with me before, yes, we do live vibrant lives with our diseases because they ain't going away, okay? So quick review, autoimmune disease, it is a condition in which an immune imbalance causes the immune system to attack and destroy particular tissues in our bodies. Like I said earlier, thyroid, adrenals, joints, you name it, all those things. And it's chronic. It's a chronic inflammatory condition, and it sucks. Okay, I ain't gonna sugarcoat anything here. It sucks, okay? But many people, including myself, we successfully manage it, okay, through functional medicine protocols that include dietary and lifestyle strategies, okay? So along with supplements and all other kinds of lifestyle changes, okay? So regular exercise, it is paramount, okay, in managing autoimmune conditions, okay, for the following reasons. When it's done correctly, okay, it produces anti-inflammatory compounds such as endorphins, okay? Those are good things, right? That gives us the energy that we need, right? Second, it also improves circulation, okay? It helps oxygenate the body's tissues, delivers nutrients to the tissues, removes debris, toxins, right? It facilitates that detoxification, right? For example, I work out, but I don't really sweat that much. Okay, so, but my body struggles because I have an MTHFR gene which that one struggles with detoxification. I have to go into a sauna after I work out to continue to sweat because sweat is our body's way of detoxifying, okay? Sweating and pooping, okay? Let's be real. All right, so the third thing is that it produces chemicals, okay, that enhance our brain function. We talk about brain function a lot here. It's like our second gut. The brain and the gut connected. It's what keeps us moving and grooving, okay? So a healthy brain, it facilitates a healthy body, all right? So how is exercise different for those of us who live with autoimmune conditions or chronic illnesses? So like I said, although it can seem like having an autoimmune condition or multiple, like I've got 3, okay, it seems like a burden. You're like, why me? Why, right? Especially when you're having a flare. Like for example, the last couple weeks here were rough for us. They were really rough. We had school starting in between a couple of birthdays. Then we had my birthday earlier this week, and I'm not a big birthday person. And we had all the things. We had everyone going into schools. So we had 3 kids going from not being in school to in school, from us working at home to not working at home, all at the same time of everything. And so I had a couple of flare-ups. It happens, okay? It happens. But with the tools that I have in my tool belts, I was able to, I wouldn't say 100% successfully manage them, but manage them fairly decently, okay? So when you're having that flare-up and you have an exercise routine that works best for you, people have reported that, it forces them to live a more balanced life, okay? With autoimmune diseases, right, we don't have the privilege, we'll call it, of abusing our body to be more productive, right? To sleep less, to give too much, to say yes all the time. Right? A lot of us are people pleasers and we want to say yes, we want to do all the things, we want to, quote, be normal. And you know what? Here's the thing. You also have the option of pushing yourself as hard as you want or not want for exercise too, okay? It can be hard on the ego. I will tell you, I worked out like crazy for many years, wanting to be like everyone else, right? I was a runner, I wanted to be super thin. I'm already a thin person. God gave me the gift of being thin. So y'all want to, make comments about me having great muscle tone and things like that. That's just how it is for me. It's one of those things that it's very difficult for me to gain weight, okay? But it can be hard on the ego because, especially like in a group situation, right? You're comparing yourself, right? If you're in a team sport, group exercise class, things like that, that invites a competitive drive. And there's many of us out there that have that competitive drive and have autoimmune conditions. We're like, we want to do more, we want to do more. We know we can do more. We used to be able to do more, and now we can't. So your mind, your ego wants to do more than your body can actually do. So we have to be aware of that, okay? So it's important to pay attention to our body while we exercise. But here's the thing, exercise does have that profound anti-inflammatory potential. But over-exercising actually makes inflammation worse, and it triggers that flare. So I really recommend no more than 45 minutes max a day. I do 30 to 40 minutes a day, and on my days that I'm having a little bit of a rough time, I just do stretching. To be honest with you, it helps out so much because our body still needs to be mobile, right? We're in a culture where we sit a lot, and that shortens our hip flexors, which we're not designed to do. So like when you're like, oh my gosh, my hips are sore, oh my goodness, like, oh, it hurts everywhere, it's achy to get out of bed. That's not what we were designed to be like, okay? And I know some of us who have autoimmune conditions where pain is something that affects it, we still need to be able to work out and move, right? Our bodies were designed to move, okay? So I want you to challenge yourself enough in moving your body and exercising to release anti-inflammatory compounds, but not so much that you can't comfortably return to your exercise routine the next day. That's not what it's about, okay? So many people, including myself, and what I teach my clients after nutrition first is we find optimal results in managing through a consistent exercise schedule throughout the week. Like many of you, if you're following me on Instagram or even on Facebook too, you'll see in my stories, like I literally work out every day. Wednesdays are more of like a mobility and stretch. Sundays I do take off, but I still do stretching. It's really important to move our bodies as much as we possibly can without triggering the flares. So it's going to take some trial and error, y'all, okay? So don't get discouraged if you're like, oh my goodness, it stinks, I'm sore and everything the next day. Okay, well, what did you push yourself too hard in a specific exercise? Did you lift too much weights? Did you walk too far? That's happened to me where I'm sitting here and I'm walking to the zoo with our family and whatnot, and it was like, okay, it was 4 hours of walking. Well, heck yeah, first of all, any person with or without a condition is gonna be sore. Second of all, I pushed myself too much and said, yeah, we can keep going, even though people asked me if I was still okay to go because my ego took over, okay? So what happens is pulling this off of creating a consistent routine for your exercise with an autoimmune condition, it means, right, finding that exercise that is right for you, okay? A lot of people with autoimmune conditions do really well with low impact, okay? Not super high intensity, not heavy weights, not like crazy. You don't have to do that to have a healthy body, by the way. So you don't have to be some crazy CrossFit person. I'm not downing them. It's just not right for autoimmune diseases, okay? Unless you're so far in your journey that you know, hey, I can do a CrossFit workout 1 day a week or something like that, okay? So, but science does show, right? I'm a data person. You all know this. I'm a data person. I love data because it makes me feel safe. Science shows that high intensity interval training, right, the HIIT workouts, okay, those ones actually provide the most benefit for managing inflammation, okay, boosting circulation, oxygenation to our cells, things like that, and provide improving brain function. That is so important, okay? Our brains need oxygen and we have to fuel it, okay? Very important. So HIIT interval training is really good. You just, again, have to learn your own body, okay? So HIIT can be 5 minutes of HIIT, right? It can be 10 minutes, it can be 20 minutes, whatever you can handle. I always recommend starting off small. And in total, again, not having more than 45 minutes of exercise per day, because then you're going to flip it, and instead of it being an anti-inflammatory thing for you with a condition, it's going to be an inflammatory condition, and then you're not going to want to do it the next day. You're going to have a flare up and it's going to take a few days to recover. Y'all been there? I have way too much. So if you're new to exercise, again, even just a few minutes a day can help. Okay, so if you want to improve your fitness level, I highly recommend incorporating HIIT into it. I always recommend having some strength training, having some HIIT, which is like a little bit of your cardio, and lots of stretching for mobility. A lot of us, again, we're sitting all day, we're hunching forward, we're not, building up our mobility and incorporating that into our routines because we see it as a waste of time. I don't need that, I don't need that. And then boom, we're sore, we're going to PT. I'm speaking to myself, okay? Really important to do, okay? So I just wanted to let you know too, I also have some really great workout programs and routines for those with autoimmune conditions, a lot of low impact stuff that I do. So if you're ready to commit and level up and really help control your conditions through exercise, let me know. Just message me and I'll be happy to share those with you. But I know it can be very confusing with how to safely exercise to maximize the anti-inflammatory effects without going too far. Like I said, I've pushed myself so many times over the years before I was diagnosed with my diseases and during and whatnot, because this little ego up here gets to me. But again, I don't recommend any more than 45 minutes of any of that low impact per day, okay? I definitely recommend no more than 5 days a week. Like I said, I do 6, but that's because I've been doing this for a really long time and I know my own personal body. And there's some weeks I only can do 3 days a week, and it's 30 minutes a day, and that's all I can get through, and that's okay. Here's the thing, is give yourself some grace too, okay? So the beauty of things like, HIITs, when you use both cardio and you use weights and you get that heart rate going, is you can adjust it to your own fitness level, all right? One person's HIIT may be sprinting up some stairs, right? Really fast for like 20, 30 minutes. Another person, it may be doing some push-ups on your knees, and you only do like 5 to 8 of them, and that's perfectly fine, okay? That is perfectly fine. I love it, all right? So yes. So I want to give you a few tips to keep in mind when exercising with autoimmunity, whether you have lupus or rheumatoid arthritis or Addison's disease or Hashimoto's or any combination of any of the 80 plus ones that are out there. First of all, I want you to find an exercise that's fun and enjoyable, okay? None of us, I don't care who you are, like to do it because it's not fun. Okay, we all want some kind of fun in our life, and it's got to be fun. Have some music on or something, right? Positivity in itself is anti-inflammatory. How many times do you go through your day and you don't smile? Putting on a smile while you work out or having some dance music or whatever kind of music you like to listen to while you're doing it makes it more fun and enjoyable, right? Okay, no one likes to sit in silence all day long, and if you do, you need to talk to me. When you have negativity, that actually increases the opportunity for inflammation, believe it or not, y'all, okay? Making it fun, it's a part of the health benefits, okay? So sometimes things like group settings, like a lot of me and my team, we do Zoom workouts. We just turn on Zoom and we say, hey, we're doing boxing today, or hey, we're doing some yoga today, and we have a regularly scheduled time. And it helps us, first of all, stay accountable. Second of all, we can help each other for like, hey, we're feeling kind of down today or whatever. Maybe I'm not going to join. Oh, that gives me a reason to follow up with that person and say, hey, what can we do to help and encourage you? And, maybe we can pick something different, that's easier for you next time or whatever, right? The next thing is I want you to challenge yourself enough to get your heart rate up. Okay, that's really important. We want to continue with that cardiovascular, even if it's like sitting on a bike, right? Even if it's walking around. I have a client, tell her, I'm like, just walk around your living room there, because they're in lockdown in Australia, and she's like, I can't get out. Great, walk around in your living room. All right, then you have the opportunity to basically fall down on your couch if needed because of your pain and things like that, until you can work up the energy and whatnot to do more. Nothing wrong with that. But again, don't challenge yourself enough, like so much that you trigger a flare, right? Like I said, there's going to be some testing. And that's the really cool thing, again, about having an autoimmune condition is we get to test things and we get to learn our bodies in depth even more than, quote, most normal people, right? That's the really super cool thing. Hey, I did that workout. Ooh, it really was painful in my neck. I should probably not do that. It's triggering some inflammation. What else can I do next time to help with that, right? Oh my goodness, my legs are sore and I'm down and out and everything for a while. Maybe I shouldn't have lifted as much, or maybe not as many reps, or whatever it may be, okay? We want to have a consistent routine and schedule. Hey, I work out, like for me, I work out 5:30 in the morning every day. Every single, like I said, 6 days a week, that's what I do. And knowing that gets me, and it helps me to anticipate what I'm going to do. It gives me expectations, things like that. And then knowing what I'm doing too, that helps as well, which is why I love the program that I have for all of you guys too. So, but the key is to be able to do it again the next day. Okay, if you made it too difficult for yourself that you can't do it the next day, we got to change it up, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. Again, like I said, I have some routines for you. If you're willing to try some of them out, just message me, let me know, okay? Another thing is pay attention to your body, right? If you feel so run down, like for example, this is what I do a lot too, is because I've got such a go-getter personality, is I'm like, oh yeah, no, I had a long weekend, I can still work out, not a big deal. I'm exhausted, I can still work out. Don't do that, okay? Take it from experience, from me. Don't do it, okay? If you're run down, it's better just to quit early, not do it at all. Take that time to rest, get a nap in, whatever it may be, sleep longer so that you have the energy to fuel you for the rest of the day. And then make sure you're eating appropriately so that you're not totally down and out the next day, right? Okay? So capitalize too on the days that you're feeling really good. Okay, I'm not saying push yourself even harder. What I'm saying is just challenge yourself a little bit more. Maybe instead of, walking half a mile, you walk 3/4 of a mile that day because you're feeling good. Don't walk in 1.5 miles, but things like that. Does that make sense? Okay. And remember, our conditions, okay, I don't care who you talk to, what doctor or coach tells you that, oh my gosh, you can cure whatever autoimmune condition. You can't cure them. You can put them in remission by your lifestyle changes, okay, which I work with you guys on. it requires attention all the time. So make each day for working out about the long range journey as much as it is for the short term, for that day's session. Okay, does that make sense? And then I wanted to remind you too, with the over 80, probably close to 100 now, autoimmune diseases out there, autoimmunity, it does affect 1 in 5 Americans. So either you have something not knowingly, or you know someone who has something, right? Type 1 diabetes, Crohn's disease, celiac disease, psoriasis, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, Hashimoto's, Graves' disease, you name it. There's so many out there. Addison's, like I have, vitiligo, connective tissue disorder, POTS, all these different ones that are on there, MS, so many different ones that are out there, okay? But those of us with these conditions and others, it feels like you're constantly battling a cold, doesn't it? Okay, but instead what it is your body is battling itself. And here's the cool thing is you own your body. You own it, okay? So during flares, your inflamed body parts can't function the way they're supposed to. Okay, so with autoimmune diseases, we'll specifically talk here about ones that affect the joints, like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus. Finding the energy can be a daunting task, right? It really can. And I want you to comment if you have one of those or you know someone who does, because I really want to talk to you in this moment, okay? You might be surprised to learn that exercise actually helps you with that condition, okay? Exercise with the rheumatoid arthritis and those ones of the joints, right, and lupus, it really does help you a lot, okay? So it also, here's the cool thing about exercise, and I'm sure some of you know this, but if you don't, I'm going to repeat it anyways. It's important for heart health, for weight management, for blood sugar control, insulin resistance, which leads to all the diabetes and things like that, and the obesity pandemic that is going on in this country and in this world, frankly. Okay, so I want to briefly touch on a few of those autoimmune conditions where pain may seem too great to work out. Okay, and I want to touch on them because I want you to be aware that you still can do this. Okay, and that I'm with you and our community is with you in doing this. Okay. So for those of you who are living with rheumatoid arthritis, or commonly known, people say RA, okay? Physical activity has been shown to help improve your heart health and joint mobility, okay? Like I said, on Wednesdays, I do a lot of mobility work because of that. I've been borderline RA and lupus for years in terms of my inflammation markers and whatnot. But because I've incorporated over this past few months, probably about 6-7 months now, the mobility aspect of it, those markers have gone down, okay? Nutrition for me has stayed the same, but incorporating those things has allowed the markers to go down, which is so amazing, okay? So it also improves your disease course too, okay? So now those of you living with lupus, okay, again, physical activity is really important. It improves the heart health. This is physiological health, okay? And your quality of life. I have a friend who's on here on Instagram too, Danielle Spear. She has lupus and she really focuses on teaching you guys how to move your body and not be in so much pain with lupus, okay? But there's also like a systematic review and meta-analysis that looked at the effects of exercise in those with lupus, showed exercise to be beneficial and curb fatigue. Whoa, take that in. All you lupus warriors out there, take that in, okay? The other one, fibromyalgia, that causes really painful flares. Okay, I have a few friends who have it and it's really painful. But there's also been a lot of studies on aerobic exercise with people with that condition. It improves pain, okay, physical health, mental health, and quality of life, right? A lot of us with autoimmune conditions or chronic diseases or obesity, we tend to struggle with depression quite a bit. And exercise helps release those endorphins like we talked about earlier. Okay, so incredibly important, all right? But it helps that aerobic exercise, such as like running, walking, cycling, again, walk before you start running, please. It can be easily adjusted, right, to fit your tolerance, okay, right? No one says that if you've got like lupus to go like run as fast as you can for 3 miles, okay? You're in control of your body again, all right? But we still got to move it and groove it, okay? So it's no question that exercise in any way, shape, or form can help with symptoms of various autoimmune conditions, okay? it also improves your overall health, your quality of life. Think of how much better when you feel when you're moving your body, whether it's dancing, whether it's hiking, whether it's doing a workout at home, whether it's lifting weights in the gym, whatever it is, you feel better, okay? Most of us do not feel worse, even with autoimmune diseases, after we work out, okay? So, but however, exercise is only one part of the equation, okay? One part of the puzzle. Me and my son, we love doing puzzles, by the way. On a side note here, we've done like 4 puzzles in the last 2 weeks of like 500 pieces, 500 to 1,000 pieces. I'm amazed that a 6-year-old can actually do those, by the way. We have fun, but one piece of the puzzle, right? It's just one piece. It should not replace your diet, right? I don't know how many people out there I know that are like, I'm just working out so I can eat the way I want. Wrong! You're really screwing yourself over, by the way. Not to say I haven't thought that some days, like, hey, I'm going to work out a little bit longer so I can have that, this is before I had my conditions, but so I can have that piece of pizza, okay, or 2 or 3, maybe the whole one. But it shouldn't replace a well-balanced diet, okay, designed for you. I'm not big on, here, everyone follow keto, here, everyone follow AIP, here, everyone follow like anti-inflammatory. It is about you. Everyone's body was designed similarly, but uniquely, okay? And you've got to learn about your body. That's why we talk about educating and empowering yourself to take control of your in-between moments with the doctors, right? So, medications can be a part of that as well, and there's nothing wrong with that. They're used to help us, but we can't rely on them, okay? So if you don't know where to start in terms of exercise for your conditions in your body, you're like, oh my gosh, Vennessa, I'm too overweight to even start. I'm just too sore. My back hurts so much. Oh my goodness, I have lupus and I can barely get out of bed in the morning. Oh my gosh, the Hashimoto's has me so fatigued. I don't even know where to start. Stop right there. You're here listening, you're here watching because you need some assistance and you wanted to learn something here. So I want you to message me or comment on the video and say, hey, let's set up a time to talk. I have free calls that I have scheduled my calendar specifically for this reason because I really want to help you guys. And if I'm not the person who can help you, then we're gonna find someone who can, because I'm just like, I treat you guys like my kids, that if I can't give you the answers, I'm gonna find someone who can help you in some way. Like, again, God bless all the teachers out there. Thank goodness they're all back in school, because I am not a school teacher in any way, shape, or form. I try, it's not me. But I know people who can help. So even like during the pandemic, when we were at home, I had teacher friends that I reached out to and said, hey, how do I do X, Y, and Z? Here, can you help me with tantrums and stuff now? All those type of things. So I want you guys to do the same with your health, with your exercise, with your nutrition, your stress management, your sleep. Those are all things that we do talk about. Even if you need help navigating your labs, I work with people to help read their lab work and say, hey, this is how you interpret it. Because a lot of times, right, the doctors, they give us these labs and they're like, okay, yeah, they look good. And you're like, well, what does that mean, right? And so I help navigate through that so you can understand it. You can ask the right questions. You can accept or deny medications that they request. That's important too, because it's your body. So, but if you don't know where to start, again, I want you to reach out to me. And because we're all about designing the best you. Okay, you weren't put on this earth to be in pain and to suffer. You were put on this earth to thrive, to live with a vibrant life with your conditions. And some of them, even like things like diabetes, the only ones I will be reversed are things like diabetes and obesity. Those are completely manageable, and I'm able to help you with those. So that being said, this concludes our coffee chat for this week. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. If you know someone who could benefit from it, please feel free to tag them and share this with them. We are here live every single Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, talking about various issues in regards to autoimmune and chronic illnesses, and designing the best you with those in-between moments. All right, you all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you next week.